Lane County Chief Operating Officer Madeline Zike is moving on from Lane County as she begins her new role with the state of Oregon. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Debus. This comes only months after the county's decision to launch an internal pre-audit stemming from the most recent allegations against her boss, former Lane County Administrator Leanne Richardson. KEZI 9 News reporter Sarah Hurwitz has been following this story for several months and joins us live in the studio with our top story here at 5. Sarah?
Madeline Zike announced her departure at the beginning of December. She'll take on her new role as Chief Human Resources Officer for the state of Oregon next week. But before she left, the county announced that they'd conduct a pre-audit after the most recent allegations surfaced that Richardson allegedly had an inappropriate relationship with a City of Eugene police officer and placed him on a county committee. KEZI launched its own investigation, and here's what we found.
Madeline Zike began working for the county in May of 2010, making nearly $107,000. During her first year of working for the county, Zike received 2 pay raises. Both were about 4%. Over 2 years later, in July of 2012, she assumed a new merged position, Chief Operating Officer and Human Resources Director, delegated by her boss, former Lane County Administrator Leanne Richardson. It's a role that came with a significant pay raise, a 14% spike, or about $16,000. That role merged Zike's current duties with the county's finance, facilities, and county clerk's office. But according to the Lane County Administrative Procedures Manual, if there are substantial pay raises over 4%, the board must be notified.
Everything in the budget is the responsibility of the board. Line items in the budget are very difficult for any board member to actually look at every single line item, and I'm not dodging behind that. For me, if I have no reason to distrust a process, then I don't dig too deep into it.
Lane County Board Chair Pat Farr says the board doesn't pay attention to pay raises on a regular basis. And even though this was when the county was having budget issues, Farr says it's nearly impossible for commissioners to know every detail.
Putting it in perspective, every dollar is huge, but in terms of a $300 million budget, every single dollar cannot be scrutinized by every county commissioner.
Farr says it's the responsibility of the county administrator to alert the board of such pay raises, but it doesn't fall solely on her shoulders.
And since Zike's departure, the county has eliminated the Chief Operating Officer position after recommendations from Moss Adams, which is the county's external auditor. You want to stay tuned? We will have continuing coverage on this story tomorrow. Live in the studio, Sarah Hurwitz, KEZI 9 News.